Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Nikocado. He has come back to the internet after about a month since he uploaded the first like 2 steps ahead video where he revealed that he had actually lost about 200 pounds. And so the videos that we're going to be going over, he actually uploaded like 4 videos, I think very recently, all in quick succession. But we're going to go over this first video, which was the first video he uploaded, How I Fooled the Internet. And then we're going to only be going over a portion of this first video, and then we are going to go over this entire response video because I feel the response video, which is the second video that he uploaded, has a lot more interesting information that I feel like is worth kind of talking about. But this first video that we're going to be going over, the first like 10 minutes is just basically like a compilation of parts of him basically saying, hey, I've been planning this out. I've been saying in tons of videos, and it does show. I highly recommend watching this video if you're actually that curious. But it says a lot of these clips, he's talking about how he's planning on gaining a ton of weight, and then he's going to lose it when he's 30. He's going to lose it when he's 30. And he basically proceeded to do that, right? And so I don't think it's really worth going over, but if you are curious, I would highly recommend you watch the video yourself. But we're going to be reacting to a portion of this video because he does talk a little bit about kind of the plans that he had and why he decided to do what he did here in this part of the video.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm literally blushing. This is so much. I guess people know. I mean, here you go. The truth's out, you know, and we're having McDonald's to celebrate because I love McDonald's. I'm still identifying as skinny.
So interesting, in this video, he like tries the McDonald's, but if you look at the thumbnail here at the very end of the video, the amount of food that he ate is incredibly tiny. Like, he barely ate any of this food, right? It looks like he eats like maybe half of each of the burgers and a few fries, right? And a few chicken nuggets. So it's really not that much food, which I think is interesting. I just thought that was funny, right, to see.
Look, like, actually skinny now, and please let me know if you like the beard. That's how you know this is not pre-recorded or like all the stuff. I was having fun, you know, on my TikTok. I was like, you guys are such idiots, because I already had that filmed back when I made my first 2 steps ahead in 2022. So that's how that all happened, and I just like,
and I think like yeah, him kind of referencing this because so many people are like, oh, I don't think he actually lost the weight. I think it's like AI. Some people have been saying that, and I'm just like, dude, I think it's pretty obvious he's actually lost the weight, and this is not some like elaborate extra part of the whole scheme. I don't know. Like, people are saying, oh, he recorded this before he lost the weight or before he gained the weight, and again, we've talked about this before, but I think that's just false, right?
I'm like, let me have fun with this. It's really not even that serious. It's not that big of a deal. We're having McDonald's. I just got delivered. And look, this is a normal size portion. This is a healthy size portion. You guys know I usually come here with like tons and tons of bags. Today it's just one. So I want to eat this hot and steamy. Ooh.
McDonald's French fries are very good. I cannot lie.
Ooh. Oh man, just keep that there. We are trying the brand new Chicken Big Mac. Here it is, Chicken Big Mac with extra sauce, and it better have extra sauce or we're calling corporate. Ooh, it's very pretty.
I'm still kind of curious, and he does mention it a little bit, but I am curious as to like what his plan is moving forward and like how much he wants to share, because he does, again, in this next video we're going to talk about, he shares a little bit more, but how much he wants to share about the journey that he went on while actually losing the weight, and if his if he genuinely is planning on doing mukbangs going forward, because again, like we saw, he barely eats any of this food in this video. And I mean, he does say that he likes mukbangs, but again, I just don't know if if he really is planning on going that route going forward and all his videos will still be mukbangs. I don't know. That's something that I am curious about, and I guess we'll only know in the future, right?
And it smells great. Ooh, and I got extra lettuce. And we're gonna compare it with my favorite McDonald's burger, which is a double, what's all this food? Oh, nuggets, which is a double quarter pounder with extra cheese, extra mayo. Oh yeah, that's a lot of mayo. Ooh. Oh man, I'm so excited. And we got chicken nuggets down over here. How am I gonna fit everything?
20 pieces.
Oh, this looks so
Damn,
good. I don't even have room. We'll just, we'll put these here. And that's everything. And I did get sauces and extra napkins. I already had some napkins from the last time I ate here. And I want sweet and sour. Here we go, sweet and sour. We're gonna do a sweet and sour and a barbecue.
I think part of this is like he knows that people are pretty captivated by this whole situation. And I don't think he's like, I wouldn't say he's milking it, because I feel like that puts a negative connotation. I think like what he's done does, I mean, if he wants to like drip feed the information over time, that's fair. But it is interesting because you know that he has had so many questions, and there are so many people that are genuinely curious about how he did things and all of the ins and outs of the plan that he had set for himself. And it's just so interesting to kind of come back and not really, it's just, it feels like he's being intentionally kind of vague with a lot of the stuff that he's doing.
Okay, I went silent deliberately because I didn't even know what to say. There's just so much to say, and sometimes when there's a lot to say, you just end up saying nothing at all. Has that ever happened to you? In serious moments, even in funny moments where there's a lot that could be said right now, and since I don't know where to begin and I don't know how to start, we're just gonna opt to say nothing at all. That's kind of what happened to me. Basically, it's been 1 month since I've made a YouTube video. I posted my 2 steps ahead. It went viral all over the internet, and
I'm sure that was crazy, like the amount of views that it got. I am curious because he said it's been a month since he filmed the video. Like, I wonder if he's counting, because obviously he filmed with Candy at some point, and so I'm assuming that was after the big reveal. I could be wrong. I don't really remember the whole timeline, but I wonder if he's just like saying for his channel maybe.
Blew up really big, bigger than I ever thought it would, and I just took a step back and I wanted to absorb the moment, kind of hear what you guys have to say, kind of get a feel for the audience, the community here on YouTube, and I didn't want to bombard you with information back to back to back to back to back. I also didn't want to bombard you with videos back to back to back to back to back. I wanted people to just take it in and have some time to absorb it, you know? So I thought 1 month was appropriate. I've seen other creators come back to YouTube from breaks, and it's just like bam, 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 or they have this 2-hour-long video where they sit and talk about their whole life story. And as a viewer, I've been on that side, and it's too much to handle. I need some time to kind of take this in. So, cheers to...
So that's kind of his response as to why he was gone for so long. But again, the rest of the video, it's like he very much so like really drip feeds any sort of information. And I'm not saying that it's a bad video, it is what it is, but he actually uploaded this video right here on one of his second channels, my response to Critical, where in this video I feel like he's a lot more open and he shares a lot more interesting information about the ins and outs of what he was doing. And there's some like really cool stuff that he talks about where he came back for a while, actually while he was losing weight, and he talks about why he did that. And he definitely throws some shade at our girl ALR, talking about the 89 pounds or 98, whatever, 92 pounds, whatever he said that he lost. And it's a very, again, there's more information shared in this video, so we'll go over a good amount of this video here.
1 month ago, I debuted my weight loss to the internet, and it went pretty viral, way more viral than I ever thought it would. It's literally about to hit 50 million today,
Crazy.
October 17th, 2024. Thank you to everyone for all your support. I figured I would sit down and talk to you more about my weight loss and everything, and also react to penguins who...
So yes, this is a reaction to a reaction, so sue me.
who got the most views reacting to me and my weight loss. In case you didn't see the video on my main channel, basically I'm an actor. I went to school for acting. I have a very long history in performance. My background is in theater, and it was my dream to be on Broadway. Whether I was acting or doing violin, I craved that theater. In the case of Broadway workers, like you get a contract for a tour or a show, and when it's over, you're unemployed again. I basically employed myself on my own terms here on YouTube by doing this character and spreading it out for so many years.
So this is like, it's basically him confirming what I feel like I have kind of been saying, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've always said in the past, it felt like whenever I would react to a Nikocado video or people would bring up all of the drama, and there is certainly some stuff that he did that was like, damn, that was a character, like that was, you know, some pretty crazy stuff, but I always felt weird because it felt like I was reacting to like a WWE character. It's like reacting to what Stone Cold Steve Austin said and on, you know, Monday Night Raw. I can't believe this happened. And it's like, dude, it's fake, you know? It's not like, sorry for the wrestling fans that don't know that, but it's not like, these are people, these are characters that are being played. And it felt like that for me. And so I've been saying that for a long time. And so it's just interesting hearing him basically confirm that completely, right? It was a character. And yeah, it's just interesting to see and interesting to hear him actually say it, right?
That I learned in my training, like in school, was that the actors who had to undergo like the greatest physical changes, they lost a lot of weight for their role or they gained a lot of weight, those actors tended to have the greatest impact. You know, when you watch someone on...
It's funny using this one because I'm I remember we talked about this movie in a video, and it was like a fat suit, and people had a big problem with that, and so I don't know, it's just kind of funny to bring this one up.
Screen and you've seen them before and other stuff, you start getting that backlog of, oh yeah, I remember them from this and this and this. But when they're like physically unrecognizable, totally different people, you don't get that backlog running through your brain.
How about I do the talking? I'm the client. And you better do it by the end of the night.
And so it was really easy for me to blur that boundary between fact and fiction, like I said, because I was physically so unwell. How do you take someone seriously or think that they're in control, you know, when they look so out of control? I'm just craving.
That is so interesting to me because that truly was, I think that was a big part of why a lot of people would say like, oh, there's no way that this is an act. There's no way that this is just someone putting this on for the camera because look how much weight he's gained, right? Look, like, why would he destroy his body? Which I still think is, you know, that is definitely a very... That's no joke to do to your body for a quote-unquote role that you're doing, to put on that amount of weight. Like, that's obviously going to be something that is going to have effects. And again, I think it's very interesting. One thing that he doesn't really talk about in this video that I am genuinely very interested in, and I think other people that have had lost a lot of weight or are struggling with their weight, is loose skin is obviously part of that. And that's something that is like, there's really no avoiding it when you're to the size that he was. I think he was like over 400 pounds at his heaviest. That's going to make some effects on your skin. Now, it's going to be different, and that's something that I think is interesting. And, you know, like, if you're someone that has been overweight for a very long time, your loose skin a lot of times can be a little bit worse because, think about it, it's been stretched out for longer. And so I'm curious as to like just what the effects are on his body with that, right? And if that's something he never wants to share, that's fair, right? Like, I'm not saying he has to do a video shirtless and showing us his loose skin or anything like that, but it's just something that is interesting to me as someone that obviously has loose skin, and I know that it's a big part of, you know, what people struggle with when it comes to losing weight, right? So...
Food. I kind of look mostly skinny. Thanks for being here for the show and watching.
I had a CPAP machine. I could barely bend over. I had a scooter to get around. This was all part of the plan. You think like, wow, they've really let themselves go. But I didn't. I knew what I was doing. I wanted to get that big because I came to this knowing that I would gain weight and knowing I would lose weight. And knowing I would use the weight gain to kind of mask a new character I would develop for myself in the process. Like, as I was growing on the screen, I would be diving deeper into this character work. This manic, self-absorbed, crazy, unhinged, bizarre man is trapped in his apartment, suffocating his lungs with food and junk.
Ooh. Oh, looks really pretty though. They're brand new mac and cheese in here, mac and cheese in here.
I was in control of all of it.
Closet, cheapers, oxygen tank. I'm gonna get new clothes because none of these fit.
And so the video I'm posting today on the other channel, I'm releasing clips that I had filmed where I would look at the camera and I said, I'm about to gain a lot of weight. and I'm gonna convince the world that I'm crazy. The fatter I get, the more impactful this will be. Or, you know, when I'm 30, I'm done. Or, you know, we have 5 years left, and then I'm gonna turn this around. You just wait and see. And all.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he shows in that first video.
All of these clips were published years ago. I had been slipping them into my regular content. Little drippings along the way, leaving all these hints and clues for 7 years straight. This weight gain was deliberate, and I was 100% in control the entire time. How do you believe that someone's going to plan out gaining weight and losing weight and developing a character while doing it? It sounds too wild. It sounds like a movie, right? This is something I've always wanted to do. You know, you could even tell in my soliloquy, I am always 2 steps ahead. I mean, these are characters, and it's the vision I've had forever. And the whole character thing, I want to make people laugh.
So, like, with the character thing, I think it's interesting. I think what he is getting at is even the 2 steps ahead and, like, the very evil, like, weird stuff that he was saying in that, like, monologue. Again, it's like a character, right? I don't know. I mean, it sounds right to me, but
just wanted to make people smile, entertain them. You turn on the news, it's horrible, sad stuff. I just wanted you to have 30 minutes a day where you take your mind off all the stress and you see this person. You might feel better about your own life. Wow, I thought my life was bad. Look at this person getting so fat.
It's got to go. Look at my body. Look at my booba. Actually, don't look there. Excuse me. My eyes are up here. Look at my hair. So ugly. My head looks like a used toothbrush.
Just very over-the-top theatrical, like a pie smashed in my face, or I look over there and a cake comes flying, fighting with Orlin, chopstick wars, and I mean, 2 grown men fighting with noodles and plastic toys. I mean, he threw salad at me, lettuce,
yeah, I think it's interesting. I am curious about that whole dynamic and relationship because I don't think we've seen Orlin since this whole change. And so it's like it invokes so many questions of like, were they ever actually together? Was it all part of the plan? You know what I mean? Like, it's like who really knows? I guess only Nick does, and I guess Orlin. But yeah, it's another piece of the puzzle that I guess we just don't know, right?
Very slapstick, over-the-top theatrical comedy, like Dumb and Dumber or the Three Stooges, just very theater, you know? I just wanted to make people smile. That was my dream role that I did not get on Broadway, I did not get in the theater. You know, it's one thing to do a show for a month, it's another thing to do a show for 8 years.
Last night I went to bed really early. I was just all tuckered out, so I said, good.
So this is Charlie. I mean, I assume most of you know who this is, but very prolific YouTuber, does a lot of commentary just based on like things that are popular in the moment. And so he obviously had a very, very, very popular video that came out when Nick came out and, like, you know, had lost all the weight. And so Nick is reacting to that video.
Goodbye, Moon, and I snuggled on into bed to catch some Z's. Little did I know that while I slumbered, we'd all been paid a visit by someone very special. And I'm not talking about Santa Claus, but I am talking about another man in a red shirt. Nikocado, Avocado. I woke up this morning in a different timeline. I think we shifted back to the Berenstain Bears universe and left the Berenstain Bears universe behind.
Mandela effect. I actually, you know, that is a really crazy theory, and I totally remember Berenstain Bears. I might skip over all the parts of me talking we already know, but I want to say something about this, like, for 5 seconds. 2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. Asmongold pointed it out as a theory, but he was correct, and no one else caught on to it. That sound was a deliberate choice. That sound is...
So he's talking about the background sound, the loud, grainy white noise is what he's talking about there.
Deliberate, and the reason I did it is, as he pointed out, which was so creepy that he knew, it's for creepiness. It's supposed to be unsettling, like that fan in the background or that water dropping. I love when it's like real and not over the top with post-production. I like it to be like in the moment. So I want to feel like home video, home style. I don't want it to be super high quality edited, and that's the point. It's supposed to look very like a man grabbed his camera in a room. That's the delivery. anyways, let's skip over me talking. I just want to hear about
this moment right here.
Again, that's interesting because it's like a lot of more thought went into this than maybe some people might have thought, right?
Here is this generation's I Am Your Father. This is up there with the Darth Vader identity reveal. Perhaps one of the most unexpected things I've seen in quite some time. When I was watching this, I let out an audible whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I know now it's obviously a month later and like we've been living in this timeline for a while. So now it's like, okay, whatever. But like, man, when it first happened, it just didn't seem real. The amount of messages I had received on like literally everywhere, but Instagram for sure. So many people sent it to me, and it was just like so many people were surprised, right? So many people.
Body itself, my soul was shocked when he took the mask off there. So he gives like a villain monologue that sounds like it's out of the Fallout universe, talking about how he's 2 steps ahead because he had played the villain for so long now. Losing 250 pounds is an unbelievable feat that's nothing shy of extraordinary. And he mentions how even yesterday, YouTubers and many other people were calling him sad, fat, depressing, sick, and all of that, and still making videos about him, even while he secretly, over the course of 2 years, had been losing all of that weight and all.
So I still am curious as to how. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, it's Ozempic, it's a GLP-1 medication." Regardless, like it would just be interesting to see what he did because at any point, like losing that amount of weight is going to be difficult, even if you have GLP-1 medication, even if you did a weight loss surgery, right? Which I don't think he did, but I guess maybe that's possible. Like that's going to be difficult regardless. So I think the people that are just like treating it as like, oh, it's not even that big of a deal. He just took this. I mean, that's still going to take some work. And so like I can respect the amount of work that went into that, regardless of how you might feel about Nick.
Yeah, so that was it was really entertaining for me. Again, I love the performance of this, and it's so exciting. Like, I'm watching all these people just rake me through the coals every day on social media as I'm sitting there getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier and just kind of on my phone. Yep, calling me names.
And it's like seeing people call you names probably doesn't feel that terrible. If you're like, they're not really talking about me, they're talking about a persona that I'm playing, and it's like, that's good. I want them to not like that person, right? Like that's the whole point, is to be unlikable. And so it's probably like a very nice like shield, because you're like, well, they don't even know who I am. They're talking about a, you know, a person that is fake, right?
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I don't care. You know, oh, I mean, you will. The Sunny V2, Nikocado is like sad, depressing, da da da. I'm just like, It's exciting for me. I had so much fun with it, and I'm still gonna have fun with it. But yeah, it was an experience for me as well as you guys to see this reveal, because I was getting skinny watching people call me fat for over 2 years. It was actually over 2 years.
I'm still very curious as to like the daily life that he was living, because like what I'm assuming he just didn't go outside. Like, there's so many things that I'm curious about.
And you guys saw the Oompaville stuff, and I had already lost like 40 pounds during that interview, but I was already so fat no one really knew.
So that is so interesting right there. So when he did the videos with Caleb or Oompaville, great creator, I love his stuff, he was already losing weight. And I remember a lot of people were talking about that, like, he just did this stuff, like, that's crazy. So he was already on his weight loss journey when he did those videos. That, again, a very interesting reveal here.
I mean, when you're like 400 pounds and you get down to 350, you're still so fat. It's like, okay, you're still fat, you know? I mean, yes, it's progress, but it's not where people are like, oh my God. You almost can't even tell, because that's how big I was. I was 411 at my heaviest.
411.
And
wow.
So I'd already lost 50 pounds or so. Don't remember the exact, but around that time, I developed a really bad cough. And I had to take Protozane, I think, Prednisone, I think it's some type of steroid to make your breathing better. But one of the bad side effects, which I guess was good for me, was you swell. You get moon face. You hold on to a lot of water weight. Like I gained 20 pounds in like 2 days of swelling. I ballooned up. I'm like, oh.
That is so interesting to me. So he was already had been losing weight when he did this interview, but because he had a cough, he had to take a medication that made him swell up. And so for him, that was like a good thing. Again, it's just so interesting to me.
This is kind of perfect, like low key. Like I I don't want people to know I'm losing weight, actually, not yet.
All the videos that people were talking about were actually videos that Nikocado had filmed 2 years prior and kept drip feeding to the community to keep them either entertained or keep himself fanning the flames of drama for people to latch on to. It is actually very fascinating. Now, some of you might recall about 4 years ago, Nikocado, Avocado, and myself had a tiny bit of beef. I'm talking like a Salisbury steak level of beef between us, and...
Okay, I'm smiling because A, I wasn't that serious when I said those things about him, and B, I also know that he wasn't serious that much about the things he was saying. I mean, to an extent, there's truth to it, where it's kind of like fake outrage and fake level of concern. Like, yeah, he's concerned, but not really, because he knows it gets the... I know how to get the views, but he also knows how to get the views. I mean, he's a reaction channel primarily. Like, he talks about what's timely, what's relevant, what's going around, what's trending. And I was trending in that moment, and he's like, let me talk about it. So I was like, this is not like real deep concern, but let me just say we're concerned. Yeah, it's all very shallow and superficial, and
it's all planned, right? Like, the reason I'm talking about this is because people are curious and they're watching the videos, right? Like, if no one watched these videos, would these videos exist? Probably not. Like, let's be real here. So I think there's always a little bit of truth to that. But then on top of it, especially with Nick and the situation he was in, it's like, dude, if whatever people are saying, it's probably just rolling off his back, because again, it's like they're talking about a version of him that, at least in his mind, isn't even real, right?
I hammed it up. It was good content for both of us. But that's why I'm smiling, because I know he's, you know, that's why he tosses it off in his mind. It's like, oh, little beef, because he knows it wasn't that serious either. Now, I've never talked to him in person, like behind the scenes. Maybe his feelings got hurt. I don't think I said, well, yeah, I did say some mean things. Oh my gosh, I hope you're not mad at me, penguins, for calling you moist cuticles and boring or what. I don't even know what I said.
Check jump.
Oh, I think I said something about his hair.
You're friends with him?
Most of them, yeah.
Moist cuticles.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He wears white shirts. Cool.
Cuticles with his long, greasy, strangly hair. Being all hypocritical, saying, oh, you can't have this to eat. And he eats burgers on his channel all the time.
That's true, he does.
Or Moist Cubicles made that video. I was furious! I'm getting angry just thinking about that. I'm getting so angry. Oh! Those users!
So, like, for me, it was like, how do you see this and think that that's not fake? Like, it was, I don't know. It was like, in my brain, it was like, how, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Those users!
I like your hair. I want to grow my, I shaved it deliberately, make a more dramatic effect, because I wanted to look as different as I could.
After all that drama, I had actually kept up with Nikocado, Avocado, occasionally just tuning in.
Oh, did you?
This part is very interesting to me.
To check and see what's going on. I made a video like a year ago on a piece of content that Nick dropped where he actually did talk about a weight loss journey that he was going on, and I've kind of just been cheering him on from the sidelines ever since then.
Oh, I did see that video. Oh, thank you. You know, I did see that video. That was so nice of you. I did a test. I'm like, let me do a little, put my foot in the pond and kind of see how it feels. Where I just say I lost 89 pounds. It wasn't really 89 pounds. That's just another joke.
I think we know who that joke's about.
Another joke I have fun with. My chair. We need new chairs. I think I broke this chair. It's so squeaky. Yeah, so thank you for the nice things. He seemed very happy for me. And it was around the time when there was a lot of bad things on the internet, like scandals and a lot of negativity in the news, world events, and everyone was just really low in their spirits, and I guess I did bring a little happiness. I don't know. People were happy for me. I think anytime someone tries to make themselves better physically and take their health in control, it inspires people, because there's a lot of people out there who are fat too, and they're like, okay, if he can do it.
Hoping that he'd follow through on that and just to see where it all goes. So to see this come up was not only extremely surprising, just given how much weight he had lost in a relatively short period of time. I know to a lot of people 2 years, like on the internet terms, that's like ancient history. Things that happened 2 years ago, that might have been void century that no one remembers. But like, speaking realistically, 2 years to lose 250 pounds, that's a speed run. Those are gold splits.
I haven't made a video for like 2 years. And so we literally just got him back like a couple months prior before making this video. And he's an adult now. When we had Noodle, he was a baby. He didn't even have all his feathers come in. Like he still had all his chest bare because he was a baby. It takes years for them to get all their adult feathers.
He mentions that it's been 2 years since he's made a video, so you can piece little breadcrumbs together in your head and follow this path here, connecting the dots. He has released videos on all of his channels over the course of 2 years. Quite a few of them. Not to the same frequency that he used to, but he still had a ton of videos.
It was around 100, I think. I have more Nikocado, which is this channel, that had dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of videos. Then we had Nikocado 3, which had dozens and dozens and dozens of videos. I had my second channel, I had Nikocado Shorts, my TikTok, I posted like 100 TikToks throughout this whole time of pre-recorded stuff that I knew I had to release as I was losing the weight. So it was a lot. It was, I'm surprised my computer didn't explode.
Definitely a lot of effort. I mean, it is impressive. Like, just the amount of effort and thought that goes into it is impressive, for sure.
Try to put it all together.
Videos that were posted 2 weeks ago, or even as recent as 5 days ago, where he is that same weight, were all apparently recorded years ago. Nick actually just had a crazy backlog, like the Library of Alexandria for mukbangs, and he just kept going to the vault to upload some of that old pre-recorded content as if it was new, and people were none the wiser. I even went through these 2 videos here in particular just to see if I could find like a date somewhere on like his phone, or when he went to the Heart Attack Grill, like maybe like a calendar sticking on a...
Remember when I said I lost 89 pounds or whatever, which was kind of a joke? I mean, I did lose weight. I don't think it was really 89. That's another joke. I'm a jokester. But yeah, so I had a lot of cheat days and I had some breaks and I had setbacks, like most people have setbacks when they lose weight. And during some setbacks, I decided to film. And
that is so interesting to me. That was probably this part is probably the most interesting thing. So he did film when he was losing weight, but he would film like these cheat day, cheat week things, and that's the stuff that he would upload and say that he's lost weight. I don't know, it's just so it's like so interesting to do it that way.
Put my toe in the water, knowing that, all right, I'm starting to get some progress. I know where I'm at. I know where my end goal is. It should happen around this time. Let me get a taste of what the reaction might be. Let me see if people are even going to care as much or what it's going to be like. I knew people would talk about it. I just didn't know to what extent. And so that's when I decided to take like a cheat week or whatever. Maybe it was 2 weeks. So when I had my cheat weeks, I would have a week, I'd film some videos, and then I would spread them out throughout 2023 when I was like, I lost 89 pounds. So that is how that unraveled as well.
Dude was playing chess while the rest of us were playing checkers. He played us like a violin.
I think that that's basically that's like the most interesting stuff in this video, and I don't know. I think that it's very, very interesting. I really do hope that Nick shares a little bit more information about this. I think that there's a lot of criticism and commentary about Nick and the things that he was doing when he was this quote-unquote character, and I think that that's worth talking about. But I mean, just as far as the actual fact of what he did, right? Losing the weight in secret, keeping it a secret for that long, and then coming back and, you know, people being so surprised. It's very interesting, the response. It's been, I would say, mostly positive. There's definitely a few comments of maybe people that were a little bit more plugged into the whole Nikocado stuff that have questions and concerns about some of the actions he took while he was the Nikocado character, the obese character, or whatever you want to call it. And I think that those are questions that could be interesting if he ever answered them or shared information about them. But you know, at the end of the day, I don't really know. I wanted to share this video. I think like some of the most interesting stuff is the whole 89 pounds thing. I think that that's very interesting, kind of a callback to someone, and then talking about how he actually was losing weight and then was doing cheat days and filming those cheat weeks and filming those videos and interspersing them in the whole thing, right? And then the obviously him just being very upfront about the fact that this was a character. This is like something that, you know, a character he was playing basically in like a Broadway show for an extended period of time. But I would love to know what y'all think down in the comments section down below. Please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.